For the Ministry of Communications and Works and the Department of Information and Public Relations, I'm Government Information Officer Giovanni Herbert. And today we are going to visit a few sites where works are taking place within the territory. Currently, we're here in Road Town, where the market square, as you see, has been developed. And currently, we are going to hear from the minister as well as the project manager in the ministry, Mr. Dwayne Freites, where they're going to update us on some of the works that have taken place in the market square to date.
We are here at the historic market square in Road Town. This has been in a dilapidated state for years. A few years ago, contracts were signed for us to revitalize the market square, and we're here now on site just to get an update as to the progress of works. I know there are a lot of interest in persons wanting to get to be a part of this development in terms of offering their services. We are in the process of actually trying to work out the application so that persons can be able to operate within the market square. But in the interim, it's necessary for us to give an update and to understand where we're at. And I have from my ministry, Mr. Dwayne Freites, who would give me a walkthrough as to where we are today.
All right, thank you, Honorable Minister. Right now where we're standing is where the road is. This is what we call the bypass road. So it's a service road for all the different tenants, the different building owners in this area. So basically persons would enter on this side, on that side over by the gut, and then come out and exit over by Ashley Ritter building. It's also a service road for all the occupants of the different kiosks that we have here in the background. We have 16 kiosks that are in different stages of construction. Most have already been completed, so we're hopeful to have all of the kiosks finished by the end of this year. Right behind me to my left is what we call the bandstand building. This is just our central gathering area, so this was completed a little while back. And then what we're working on right now is to just tidy up the area. We just signed a contract recently for the walkways. So the walkways would be to allow persons, once the market square is open, to be able to just walk through pathways and pavements for them to walk through. And also right now we're concluding our process to do the landscaping. So within the next 2 months or so, we expect to see a major transformation as we conclude the landscaping, conclude the walkways. And then our final contract that we're looking to do is over on this side is to put in a bus shed. That would be a bus shed for the taxi operators and so forth to collect passengers. So that's going to be at that side of the market square. And then basically how the market square is set up is what we call the upper part, which has also the bathroom building, which is that building in the background there. And then we have the lower part, which also would have 6 kiosks, which we already see already completed and constructed. So once we are able to get in the landscaping contractor, we expect to see a difference within the next 2 months. And we're hopeful to have the entire market square commission. We're targeting for the end of February 2023 to have the entire market square commission. All things completed, walkways and everything done, and just have everything to hand over so that we can get the different tenants in so that they can operate the market as how it was intended.
Thank you, Mr. Freites. I have a quick question though. You said this is a service road, so are you saying that there is no parking in the market square for the tenants and for the building owners? What is the alternative for that? If you are saying that this is just a service road.
Yeah, there will be no parking in the market square really. This road was created in 2 parts to allow any person who has a kiosk, if they have any goods or what have you to drop off, they can use this road, drop off their goods, and then secure parking, let's say over by the festival ground area. Similarly, we are doing the same thing for any of the occupants, the different tenants, offices in this space. If they have any goods or what have you to drop off, they can use this road, and then they will just secure parking over in the festival ground, which is something that the ministry is working on to, advance in terms of having a suitable parking area over at the festival ground site.
Thank you for that. So basically, you're saying that you had dialogue with the owners of these buildings. There was some consensus as to an understanding of what is being done by the government, what is being done by the ministry, and persons who had any concerns or anything of the sort.
Yeah, at the start of the project, myself, the permanent secretary, we met with the different building owners in this area. We shared with them the master plans. So they were able to have sight of the master plan. They were able to render and lodge any concerns or questions that they may have, and they were able to share. We had a good dialogue with them, and they were receptive in terms of being part of this project, because what we indicated to them is that the intent of the Market Square project is to still incorporate all of the buildings within the Market Square, similar to like a plaza type of situation. So you could see in terms of how the walkways are, we try to incorporate the buildings into it, so they would still feel as though, yes, they're in their own building, but also part of the Market Square center site.
A big questions persons would probably want to have answers for is, what about the flooding? We know this is a flood-prone area. What mitigation factors were taken into consideration to alleviate any sort of flooding in the area?
What we've done is that we have raised the Market Square above the existing roadway. So every kiosk, everything that you see here is above the existing road level height. So that also would help to be a mitigating factor. We've also done some drainage, which you can see, to run some pipes over to the existing drain on the other side of the road. So we've done quite a bit. We believe that obviously we can mitigate against major rain events, but any general rain events, we would be able to deal with that by raising the Market Square. Also along here, we put in a slipper drain. We also have the connections there, so you can see where the inlets are for the drain, for the storm water to go in. The road itself, if you look at it, just with the naked eye, you can see it has a slope. So we've done quite a bit to ensure that, you know, the area is drained properly, and even the different kiosks and so forth, there's guttering that's all connected back into the drainage system. So we're confident that we shouldn't have any major flooding issues here at the Market Square. The kiosk concept came, initially you will recall we had one standalone Market Square building where you would have stalls just segregated. So the thought process is that if you're operating a kiosk, you would have much more independence in terms of being able to set up your own operations and so forth. So that was part of the general trust in terms of how the kiosks are situated. They're not so far apart because obviously we're tight on space, but each person that operates a kiosk would have their own individual setup. We've put in sinks in all of the kiosks where they can, if any hand washing or what have you, there's power, lighting in the kiosk. So persons can really set up even their opportunities for night operations. We put in some solar lights. So persons can really have a better opportunity in terms of marketing their goods and whatever products that they will have selling at the Market Square. So what the kiosk allows us to do with the colors is give it a more, you know, Caribbean flavor or tropical flavor. So we have three primary colors that we use, and just to add a little bit more flavor to the market instead of just coming with one standard color. So it allows it to stand out in that sense. Is also an opportunity where tourists can be able to identify the Market Square. When they walk through the Rotong area, they can see something and say, okay, this looks like a place that I would want to go to. So that was a general idea in terms of how the concept was set out. And obviously once the landscaping comes in with the trees, the palms, the green space and so forth, it would enhance the market beyond just having a standard building. It would look more appealing and exciting for persons to come and visit.
I thank you. I look forward to February 2023. This is a project that has been spoken about. You know, we had our delays with the COVID, but we pushed on, we persevered, and we have reached to this stage, and I am excited about it. So I thank you for the hard work, your commitment. I know we're out here on the weekends. We're out here quite regularly, but we continue to push on to see this project to where it is today. And I thank you, the ministry, and all the people involved, the contractors and so forth. So I thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
For the Ministry of Communications and Works, I've been your Government Information Officer, Giovanni Herbert. Thank you for having joined us as we continue to give you updates of the infrastructure development within the territory.